story. My story. Our story. This podcast is Untold Stories Being Told. What's really going on? How you really feel? Untold Stories.
Hey. All right, wait a minute. I'm waiting for your audio to come up.
1 second.
There you go.
Now I can hear you. Hey. Hold on. What's up? How you doing?
Good. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I just blinked myself out. Hold on. I was trying to get all set up, and I'm jacked up now.
All right, take your time. Take your time and get yourself set up.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was like really trying to get set up like a minute ago. Here we go. Yeah. Can you fully see me? Or can you? Nah.
You need to put it up a little bit because it's cutting. It's stopped at your eyebrows. That's cool. That's good.
What's up?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, good. All right.
Hey.
Long. It was okay, I guess. It's all right.
Your video. Oh, there you go.
There is, yeah.
What you do today?
What did I do? Nothing. I had to clean up because we're like getting some new furniture in my house. I had to do some banking. Yeah, do some banking. I had to I'm kind of in like a personal dilemma type thing, but not a dilemma, but it's like
it's a big choice.
Yeah, it's like a choice. I don't necessarily need to make, but I'm debating. So it's just interesting.
That's what can tire you out.
Yeah, it tires me out.
Mm-hmm.
Plus I'm dealing with some other like I said, just like small personal stuff, and like trying to make money, and like trying to get the sketch together, and trying to make sure I got my gigs.
I'm saying trying and making money and getting this sketch together and
I say trying sometimes just as a way to like
when you try you fail.
Keep myself from being keep myself from hubris.
No, when you try you fail. People who do they do. People who try they fail.
You did the whole Yoda thing. Do or do not. There is no try.
There's no try. Try, you're gonna fail.
There is no try. Do or don't do. There is no try. Mm-hmm. Like the Bruce Lee John. Hold on for 1 second.
Go ahead, you good. I'm hungry. I'm eating this fruit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just hold on for a second. Yep, there we go. All right. Yeah, good.
So, we're gonna do an introduction right here. I'm Naya Evan, also known as Undomesticated John on all social media platforms. And this right here is while he's drinking, swallow and introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up? My name is Sherod. My writer's name, my performer's name is Sherod Lee-Smallman. My mother's last name and my father's last name, so that's who I am. That's who I be. Yay!
And what you do? Where you from?
I'm from North Philly. North Philly.
You from North?
Philly. I'm from North
side? Like me?
North Philly, yep. North Philly.
I'm from North Philly. Guess how? Yeah, let me yell out the window. That's right, because you probably can hear me. Yell out the window. I'm North.
Yep, North Philly. Grew up in North Philly. Probably do some stories in North Philly, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Good people.
Yeah, very good people. Yeah, that was one of my things that was going through my head this week. As far as the decisions I needed to make, and thinking about how I was raised, and just like the good environment I was raised in. Not perfect environment because I'm in North Philly, but it was a good.
Perfect. It's perfectly North Philly. There's no other place like it. So
yeah, I call it the last African village in North Philly.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, I call it the last African village. Yeah, the way I was raised was very interesting. Mm-hmm. I grew up on a block of generations, so everybody knew everybody, but they were really like, like cousins and extended family. Like my mother, my cousins, mom, was married, I think, at one point to my uncle. So it's like my cousin's mother, and she lived next door. So it was like weird, like everybody's connected, like through one particular family, either directly or indirectly.
Yeah, that's how I grew up the same way. My family's from North Street Projects, and both sides. My dad and my mom grew up together. Most of my aunts and uncles would have been my aunts and uncles, whether they were married to each other or not, because they grew up with each other. Now we have aunts and uncles that's not blood. They end up being blood. They end up marrying somebody that's in my family on both sides. So my one cousin on one side of the family went to the prom with one cousin on the other side of the family because they all grew up together. And even in my neighborhood, like you said, generations to generations, some of us married into each other's families. Some of us just knew great grandparents grew up together. So it's just like we know each other that much that we're so close.
So it's a very interesting. I was telling somebody, I grew up with a lot of love, like a ton of it. Like, not like, and when people talk about love, they always think of like this flowery stuff. And I'm like, no, it wasn't flowery at all. It was tough. It was super tough. It was like a lot of trial, a lot of tribulations, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of redemption, a lot of, figuring things out, but like nobody left. And in the sense of like, nobody gave up, in a sense, even when people would leave,
I said, because
like people, even if they left, we had to find ways to like repair those relationships.
No, not like you couldn't physically do it, but your family, we can't leave each other. We always gonna have to come back to each other.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to see. I've seen people do it. I've seen people leave, not talk to families for like 10 years. I'm like, how can you not talk to your brother for like 5 and 6 years? That brother like from another family or like a brother that you grew up with. I can imagine not talking to my brother for like.
Well, I don't have that best relationship with my siblings, so I can definitely understand that. It's not what it's supposed to be. It's not like this thing or that's the norm that it's supposed to be. I would never be like, oh and just like brush it off. No, that's not normal.
It's like, no, it's like, and so so I mean, like the way I grew up is like a whole lot of love in action, not just in words, not just a feeling of love. Like people grew up and like really loved each other.
Like that warmth and that community and that care and that concern and that pride. And you felt that when you did something good or was being a great representation of your family or your neighborhood, and how that pride from them felt. Because
and when things didn't work out, things didn't go the way you wanted it to. You always knew that you had that support when things fell apart, or when your family were falling apart, or things in the marriage falling apart, or things like it was always there, that underlying love and trying again, maybe not in the same context of, like not in the same context of relationship, but in the same context of love. And like, I mean, like, people like, people get divorced. Like I've seen people like divorce and they still a part of that family.
Oh yeah, my family's just like that, where it's like aunts, and they have other marriages and everybody just comes together. It's never been in my family where, and thank goodness I can say for the most part, everybody married very well.
That's good.
When they married, they are our family now too, and their families are our family too. Where it's sometimes like, oh, I hang out with that cousin, and that's not even like your blood cousin. It's like, but that's my cousin, or it really is the blending of a family, how it should be, and not just it's about us. You're marrying an entire family together and bringing people together to build a grander family. But don't look at it that way anymore.
Yeah, especially when you have kids together. Like kids makes a big, humongous difference. Like I've noticed that, like when people share kids and stuff like that, and they help raise kids or whatever, like that's it. Like you with that family for the rest of your life. And it's no animosity. I don't see a whole lot of animosity. Like I call it clean love. Like I have a lot of clean love. So to me, it's like, that's how I want to that's how I want my relationship. And I mean, my marriage to be like clean, like, you know, not necessarily perfect, because it's not going to be perfect. In fact, I don't think it would be clean if it was perfect. Like, it wouldn't be.
That wouldn't be real or honest.
Yeah, it's like, it has to be something tangible to be real. Not necessarily tangible, but more like it has to be something of substance. And substance takes a lot of work and commitment to the end of that journey, you know.
It changes and it's different. And nobody's bumps into that. For the other person, it may not be a bump for you, but it may be a bump for the other person, and vice versa. So it's that's the perfection of it. It's perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, like, I think sometimes people aim for these perfect relationships, and because they're fearing something going wrong. And I'm like, the more you fear it, you know,
you're gonna bring it on, or you have resentment.
Yeah, but at least you're prepared for it too. So like, you're not prepared for it, you know. And a lot of times people get blindsided because they're not taking the time to build themselves up, you know, build their resilience up. And that's the problem. You got to build that resilience.
People don't want to work out. People don't want to go to the gym. And that's what it is. It's working out. It's stretching those muscles. It's seeing yourself in the mirror, seeing what you want to improve on, really going at it and attacking it. And maybe it'd be leg day sometimes. And people, you got to do leg day. You can't just do chest all the time. And some people don't want to do leg day. They just want to be all up here, and then they all skinny down here.
I think love is like anything that looks good on the surface as advertised to us. Like, it sparkles, it shines, but nobody sees like the backdrop. Like, working out in the gym, think about what's advertised when you work out in the gym. You see people who are already in shape.
Oh yeah, fit.
Already, like, you don't see nobody who's like,
work the first day.
You know, wearing a big shirt trying to get it together. You don't see those people. You see people who like have been in the gym, and not even that gym, but
they've been in the gym. At the real gym. Yeah, they have a trainer.
You don't see just somebody walking down the street like, nah, look, that's because they advertise what they think you want to be. And that's why I think love is advertised to us too. Like, love is advertised in a way.
Allow people to create definitions for you, and then you follow in other people's definitions. Because you can't allow what something means to you may not mean the same thing to me. It's still true to you and true to me. And it may work for you, it may not work for me. But if I say, if you don't do it like this, then you can't love me. And it's like, but that's not how I love. And it doesn't take away from me loving you. But if it's not this way, then that just takes away from any feeling, any emotion, any care, or any actions that I've done, because it's not in this way, because you don't define it that way. And that's what love is like. If he's not tall, dark, and handsome, and if he doesn't have this, what is that? The people, high valued men or something, that term?
Oh, I heard about that. I just read something about
that just sounds like, really idiotic. Yeah.
I was like, I don't even like that term. It's like, what does that mean?
Whose value?
It's very superficial.
Yeah, and what value? Whose value?
Yeah, it has nothing. It's
no value.
Yeah, it's more about it's product.
Yeah,
we learn how to make love a product.
Yeah,
and like, it's like high value men. I was like, what's that? Obviously, it's gonna be.
Understand that. It's like
the car,
product.
Because it's something. I always say to people, I was like, when you realize that nobody in the commercial lives in the neighborhood you live in, you got to realize they don't care about you. They care about the person you want to be. Not a single person lives in these neighborhoods they advertise. We're like, who are these people going to these houses with these dogs, with these fences, with these cars, with 2 cars, and they paying the bills, and everybody's okay?
Oh no, they're walking the dog in the middle of the day because they ain't even got to go to work.
Yeah, it's like sunny. I'm like, who are these people that live these lives, but they don't advertise what you are. They advertise what they think you want to be, and what you want to be is attractive. It's a shiny version, and I think that's how people treat love. People treat love like that. It's like the shiny version. I was like, nah, love is tough. You don't have to love when it's super difficult to do it, and not love in the sense of like how you feel. Love really, to me, love and feelings has to do with infatuation and romance and stuff like that. Huh?
That's the playtime love. That's the infatuation of fantasy of it.
Yeah, but love is like another. It's three like definitions or translations in like the Bible of love that people miss. Some say charity. Some say God, and some say love. They all add up in Hebrew the same exact way.
Yeah.
They all add up because Hebrew word letters are numbers too.
Yeah.
So they add up in the same exact way. So when it's translated in different versions, it's been translated as charity, love, and God. They all been the same thing.
Because each time it's the same, it's all of it. It encompasses all.
Yeah, encompasses all. And like, you know, I
But
think
people have
sometimes
defined it and separate it and say this. That's what I'm saying. When you put a definition on it, love is something that you can't define. It's a state. It's almost like peace. You can't define peace almost. You like, it feels like nothing, but it feels like it's no feeling, just. That's what love is. When you love, and it's the absence of fear. You can't be afraid of anything if you love. You can't have fear. You can't be jealous if you love. You can't be this if you love, because it's no room for that. All that other stuff is the opposite of love. So love, when you want to define it, is like, it's just, I'm just here. I'm not making actions towards anyone. I'm just so in this space of nothingness, of joy, of peace, all of the, just there.
Yeah, I mean,
but when you define it, it's like, oh,
it's I don't know, like, it's like, I think when people love and they do it and they're fearful of it, that's when a lot of trouble starts. So like, you can't be fearful and have a good version of it, because it's always going to be tainted. It's always going to be tainted. It's always going to be a hesitation. It also causes problems. But also, like, when I see when people fear, people don't fear necessarily love. They feel the result that can possibly happen. Like, they let themselves go too much, they can get hurt. They let themselves too. It's like
fear of or insecurity of themselves, because if you're enough, you can't be hurt by somebody leaving, because it has nothing to do with you. So when it's like that, when you put this stuff on, like, oh, if I give my heart to someone and then they leave, I didn't wasted my time. No, you look at life like, oh, that was a cool experience, and you keep moving. But you, as somebody who's insecure or feel and taking things personal, it's all about you. It's not about that situation. Because once you get rid of that, I'm taking this personal and I'm insecure. Once you get rid of that, that situation changes for you. Your reaction to that situation changes. So it's not the situation, it's who you are and how you feel inside yourself, and who is responding to that situation, not the situation. Like, situations and things aren't good or bad. It's the people behind it that make things good or bad.
No, there's some bad situations. I've seen.
Name a bad situation.
I've seen situations where people like were dealing with like numerous things, mental health issues, bad situation, because it's hard to manage those things, and especially
if you were in a situation, if that was a fact, that would mean people who are in that situation all the time would have to act the same way in that situation, which is not true. Some people can be in the same situation, same circumstances, and choose to not act that way. That means you have a choice in any situation to look at it good or bad and respond to it any different way. So that's not a fact.
I honestly think you have to look at it good or bad. I think like you have any situation, you choose how do you handle it, because that's the only thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's why no situation is good or bad. The people behind the situation makes it good or bad. Like if I stole a loaf of bread, stealing is bad. But if I stole it to feed my family, is it bad?
Yeah, but being the fact that you had to be in a position to do that at all is bad. Being in that position at all is bad.
No, but maybe it's not. Maybe stealing ain't a bad thing, and it's teaching me how to be a better thief. Maybe that's how. I'm just saying, maybe that's how I am viewing it. Is I stole that bread, I got away with it. It's a good thing for me, but you may look at it as bad.
Yeah, but you may look. So I look at it from an objective standpoint. So you take that situation. Take that situation, right? You have a situation where somebody stole something, wherever they have to feed their family. Yes, it's bad. Like, is it bad to steal? Of course, objectively, it's not good to steal, but that person had to feed their family. The situation that caused them to be in that is bad. To not have the ability to feed yourself and have to be at the point where you have to take something is a bad situation. You have to be in a bad situation.
But you're looking at it that way. What if? Now I'm just playing devil's advocate. What if they're in that situation and they can get out the situation by doing something that goes against their morals? but they choose to steal anyway.
Mhm.
Now,
And that's
I mean, it's just like, hey, or they can go and do what they would never do, and it may not be against your morals. And you're like, well, it wasn't that bad for them to do. They could do it anyway, but it's against their morals, and they choose not to do it. But in your opinion, you're like, well, no, I don't see that. What's so wrong about that? They could do it anyway. See, that's what I'm saying. It's people's perspectives behind the situation. It's not the situation. It's how you look at the situation and how you react to the situation. And that can be good or bad if you want to use those terms.
Yeah, like, because like at the end of the day, it's not good for anybody to be in a position where they have to like be hungry and they don't have the resources. And whoever position they're in, that's not a good position. In fact, that's to be in that position sometimes can, like you said, it can be, you can take a nice situation and make the best out of it in some ways and make that and way to fuel some type of change. Yeah. Or you can be in a worse situation, and it happens all the time.
But it depends on the person, though. That's what I'm saying. It's not the situation; it's the person behind it, because it depends on how you change it, how you view it, and it may not, like you said, it may not be bad. But like, you know what? My grandfather had it worse, and this is actually better, and I'm happy for this situation. That I can make it better because at least I'm doing something better than what my grandfather had. And someone else can look at it like, oh, that poor person, they ain't got no shoes on their feet. Oh, they must live in a bad situation. They're like, I don't like the shoes. I don't like shoes. Like, what are you talking about? So it's just perspectives and not situations.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, because like you put in a situation, people respond differently. It's like some people respond to situations, they rise to the occasion. Some people fall under the ground. It depends on like you said, it depends on the person. Yeah. But that's without judgment. You know what I mean? Because we don't know what situation would get us to act in any type of way if we're in that particular situation. And a lot of times, like, it's easier for us to say, like, if I was that, I would be doing, like people say that with slavery all the time. Like, if I was a slave, I was like, I take that.
Most of those people be like, yeah, but I gotta go to work on Sunday because
exactly.
Like, you are one. You're not. You're the same thing. Come on.
Exactly.
Shut up.
Exactly. Like, y'all talk a whole lot of trash. Like, I was a slave. Like, you clocking that, you punching that clock every day though.
Yeah, like, and I'm not knocking anybody who punches the clock every day, but when you be like, oh, they gonna get me.
Exactly. I'm cracking up with people. Like, it's like you don't do that now. They paying you to be a slave. Yeah. They paying you to be a slave. They gonna do that now.
They paying you chitlins too, because they getting way more than you, and you getting the scraps.
Exactly. I'm like, whatever, yo. But that's the thing. Like, I think in any situation you do have choices. I think sometimes your choices in any situation, especially love, it's about who you are and what your end result. And sometimes you make bad choices. Sometimes you don't make the right choice. But that's something for you in time to decide. That's a hard thing. Time is like, I think time can sometimes be like the medium of, like, the right path. Sometimes you don't see the right path until hindsight. I mean, you don't know. You
eventually get back to it. It's just you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm not gonna do that again.
Because
I would be right here, but now I have to go all the way around to get right there.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a hard thing. Like, sometimes also, you used to what you're used to. We all like talk to a certain extent. It's rare, like you had the 1% of people who, say I'm going against the grain. That's a very rare thing, because our instance is self-preservation. In self-preservation, that's not just a physical thing, that's a psychological thing too. You're trying to survive in an atmosphere that you have been provided and born in. It's a hard thing to do.
The thing is, people are surviving and they aren't living. Those are two different things.
That's self-preservation. Self-preservation. I wouldn't say that's
self-preservation, because people who are living are self-preservation. They have that in their mind too. I'm not going to jump off a cliff just because I'm living.
Yeah.
Difference. If you're alive, you're alive, your body won't let you do certain things psychologically anyway. Yeah. But it's people who are just out there surviving. And I just don't, if survival is just the only thing that I got to wake up to every day, then do not give me any more air. Because I'm not living and I have that choice to live. I'm going to live every day. I'm going to choose to live. Listen, all right. I have this kind of like little card game.
All right.
Icebreaker to ask some questions. I'm going to send you this. I'm going to walk this down the street to you. I just got to get the whole pack, everything, and come in the mail. But I'm going to get this down to you so you'll have it for yourself. But it's just with how you do that. Oh, it won't mirror.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm going to pick yours out. And then the question that I pick for you will be you asking that question to me. And then I'm going to pick mine and it'll be question asked again.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So, all right, your question here. And I think my question here.
All right.
The question to me is, what would you like to leave this world with? Okay, all right. Let me think. What would I like to leave this world with? A lot more laughter, a lot more understanding, a lot of smiles, and kindness. That's what I want. I'll leave it. So my question to you is, what do you want to change about yourself?
What do I want to change about myself? That's an interesting question because instinctively I say nothing.
Nothing you would like to change.
Anything like it's hard. That's a hard question because I don't because I always lean to the internal. Internally, I'm just like, what would I change? I think I would like to lean, like my sister is really good with brevity. I like the fact that she could tell a really good joke. She's quick to tell a really quick joke. Like she's really good at it. Like me, I can tell a quick joke, but my sister's name is Tiana, and she uses like little to no words to do it. Like she's not a conversationalist like I am. She's but really I think I would like a little dab of her brevity. I would like a little dab of her brevity. So I would change that a little bit. But I like talking. Like I like good conversation but I would have a little dab of her brevity.
Cool.
So yeah.
All right. Let me pick another card. And then we're going to get into some of the things about you, just what you're doing in Philly. What's happening with Mr. Lee-Small?
Mr. Lee.
Here's your card. Here's my card. I know. Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee. I'm gonna do my card first and ask you a question. Okay, describe a favorite food if you have one using your 5 senses.
All right, yeah.
Don't tell me what the food is. Don't tell me what it is. You just describe it with your 5 senses.
All right. So this question's for me. Okay. I thought it was your turn. Is your turn?
This was my question to you. I just switched.
Okay.
The order.
Sweet. Smells sweet. It's like the sweet but spicy. Taste.
Wait. Taste. I want your taste. What is your taste?
The taste is sweet and spicy.
You smell.
See, like I think the smell is.
What's something that reminds you of?
It reminds me of it's not syrup, but like kind of like not syrupy smell, but like more like a kind of sweet barbecue-ish smell.
Okay. Yeah. And what does it sound like?
Crunchy. Okay. Sounds like you're crunchy, like almost like a potato chip, but not a potato chip. When it's done right, when it's cooked right, it has that crunchy, kind of like a nice little firm little crunch.
Okay. And the sight?
Golden.
Okay.
Golden brown. Glistening.
Touch.
Little kind of like small little portions, but all together.
Now, what it feel like?
When it feels squishy but firm.
Squishy but firm.
But you don't touch it. You put a fork in it.
But if you touch it, you can touch it, right? It's not air.
You can touch it, but it's like you don't want to touch it because you don't want to get your hands all like.
What does it feel like when you touch it? Does it feel squishy? Does it feel like water? Does it feel?
No, it feels like It feels like nice and like firm, it feels nice and firm, like, I don't know, it feels like nice and firm, like kind of like a marshmallow, but not a marshmallow, like a real firm marshmallow.
Okay. All right. So what is it?
General Chicken.
Oh, okay.
I love General Chicken. Yeah, I love General Chicken.
All right.
That's like an eat.
You said you can eat it all day.
I can eat it all day. Yeah, I love General Chicken.
I'm gonna read yours to me. I'm not gonna do that one.
Whoa, what's that?
Oh, I'll do it. I had just did that. I was gonna give another answer, but it was how mean are you to yourself? And I'll give you the answer to that, and then I'll pick another one. How mean am I to myself? And I'll do another answer instead of that one. Other than that, I can be indulgent and overly indulgent, which is not healthy for me in many ways. So I have to be very careful when I'm overindulging, because it's not very nice to my body and my spirit. So that's how I can be mean to myself. Now let me pick another one. So this one thing. Oh man. All right, it says whistles. And you can choose it. You can choose the song I have to whistle.
Whistle.
No, not a whistle though. It's gonna sound horrible, but good.
All right. Whistle.
I don't know any new songs. Like just do.
All right. Let me see if I can give good something. Whistle. Let's see. Let's see a good song. Whistle. You Bring Me Joy by Anita Baker.
Okay. I can't whistle. I don't know how to whistle.
That's how we start.
Maybe I'm trying to whistle. I'm trying to learn to whistle.
Go ahead, whistle. The thing you did at the end was the whistle. The other stuff was like, what in the humming whistle is that?
I can't whistle. My ex-husband used to crack up with me, like, you can't whistle. And I'm like, almost.
I didn't know you were married. You were married? Oh.
Yeah, years ago.
Ooh.
When I was 21. I was young.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't know you were married. Wow.
Yeah.
I have never been married.
You want to get married?
Yeah, I would like to get married. Yeah. I mean, preferably somebody shorter than me.
See, you know what? See, people want to watch this, and everybody got these little inside jokes about my preferences.
I'm just saying.
And I be forgetting, and everybody reminds me that they know.
I'm just saying. I was like, I thought I had a chance one time. I was like, I'll check my height. I was like 5. I'm like 6'4". Damn.
I like what I like.
You be like,
you are not gonna insult the men that I enjoy.
Where's Kevin Hart when you need him? But oh man, I mean that's interesting because I think I don't know, I don't have any preferences, but I think I prefer taller women. I think that might be my preference because I'm 6'4".
Men do too.
Yeah, but I like long legs. So like I like long legs. So I think that even if she's like 5'5" or something like that, I think if her legs are long. I like the elegance of like women have like their legs. I like that. So I think, yeah, I prefer taller women, like 5 foot, maybe 5'7", 5 foot, maybe 5'11", 6 foot, maybe. I don't know. I dated all different. I dated somebody 4'10". Yeah.
Me too.
Oh. Anyway,
So
you gotta give us tall brothers a chance. Know what I mean,
I don't know.
Give us tall brothers a chance. But then, yeah, that's kind of weird because So yes, yeah. But yeah, you gotta give us tall brothers a chance.
I don't know. I've been doing pretty good with what I was sticking with. Maybe.
Nah, I mean,
that must be wrong with y'all or something. My spirit must be telling me there's something wrong with people who are above a certain height.
That's funny. That's like no.
Spirit. I think my spirit's telling me.
It's a spirit. 6 foot spirit. 6 foot spirit don't be moving with me like.
It's just like yeah.
You a tall guy like what in the world?
I'm like, oh well, all right. Well, what you got to offer?
Man.
But it's true. Maybe my ex-husband, he was tall. Maybe that's why. No.
Oh, now we get into the.
No, he's a good guy. He's a good man. It was all my fault. No, it was all my fault. I would have blamed for all of that.
Oh, hey! I respect that. I respect like you take responsibility. I've been surprised. Like people have actually apologized to me for stuff. I'm like, wow. Like I would never think that would happen. But like a lot of people have apologized for like the relationships and stuff. But that's a tough thing. Like people come with stuff and they don't know where they're projecting. And then like I'm be looking like, what just happened? And then like years later, they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was going through blah blah blah.
Like,
blink, blink, blink. Like, okay, I didn't know. Now, like, you know, and I'm resilient, so I'll be upset about it for a minute, but then I'm like, after a while, I'm just like, you know, but then, you know, some things linger longer than others, depending on who it is. But yeah, people apologize. I'll be surprised. So good for you. That's honorable. That's my fault. I was like, you see how you treat the tall man? That's what I'm talking about. See,
I would never treat my fellas like that. Not somebody.
Never treat the short guys like that.
Oh no! How dare I? I would never.
Dirty. Dude, that's
So
dirty.
tell me what's going on with you. I know you have your production company, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's going on? Where do I start? So photography, I guess to start there. I have my own studio. I actually do a co-op with a young lady named Susan Small. She I leased through her. You know Susan, so yeah, I leased through her. She's and it's called, my production company is called Indie Productions. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing shorts. I've done shorts, a lot of my shorts on YouTube. Yeah, you seen my shorts? Have you seen them?
On his YouTube name is what?
Indie Productions. IDNI Productions.
Subscribe, like, look.
Yeah, follow. Subscribe, like, follow. Guarantee you will love my stuff. They're just dope. It's really, really dope. Like, that's the thing I love about it the most is like the shorts are really connecting to people. People really like it. And sometimes they're really surprised. I'll be like, why y'all surprised it's good? Like, it wears me out sometimes. But it's still like, I think sometimes people are surprised, like, they know somebody and it's like, wow, this is.
Yeah, because like they see something else from other people that they don't know, and it makes it look so grand and big. And then they're like, but I know this person.
Yeah, like, yeah, I think it's.
And to connect those two is kind of unreal.
Yeah, I call it the Ray effect. Like, you see somebody on TV like Robert Harrison, and then somebody on the side be like, you mean Ray Ray? Like, yeah, it's like that. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Ray, like, like yeah, so.
Shit. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that effect. Like, oh, come on, like, you know, I don't take it personal, but it's fun to watch people like enjoy it, and they watch it over and over again, which is even more fun to see. So that productions, I'm doing like I'm doing a short series for a young man named Dennis Dumpson with his book. He has a book that's coming out, and he asked me to do kind of like commercial shorts. So I'm doing like a short. I can't tell you about it all, but it's like 5 shorts. It's like 5 shorts based on people reading his book. So I'm doing that. I finished the first 2 shorts. Now I'm about to do 3 more. But it's good. It's really good. He's a really talented writer. Those shorts should be coming out in January, at the end of January. So it's been going really well. I still got my plays. And now the play thing I had to put on hold, obviously because of COVID. Yeah. But I wanted to pick it back up, but now they have this other variant now, so nobody knows what's going on. So, but I'm still writing my plays. I'm still writing shorts. I have a short that I have, a short story that I wrote, 2 short stories that I wrote. That I'm trying to get published. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Getting published.
Oh, and I forgot. I'm in this movie. I'm in an independent film. I don't think I can talk about it, but I know I can say the name. It's called Eyes of Deception. So I was in that. I'm playing like a cousin, but I'm in the whole thing, which surprised me. I wasn't expecting to be in the whole thing. They was like, when you're looking for actors, I didn't think I was going to get picked up. I was surprised. They said, we just need actor, age, blah, blah, blah. You know how it is, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, I signed up for it. Did a reading, and I'm looking at the name they gave me. So I'm like, oh, he's in the first, couple pages. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm reading, I was like, why is he in this whole script? I was like, oh, shoot, I'm in the script? What? Y'all, what's going on? I said, y'all sure they got the right person? It's like, yeah. I was like, all right, sure, why not? Like, I wasn't expecting that. So, I'm fortunate to be in that. So that should be coming out soon. They're editing the film as we speak. So yeah, it's cool. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing thus far. And just trying to get more gigs. I actually want to do more auditions, go to New York, do more auditions. Yeah. Get an agent, stuff like that. I really want an agent before within the next 6 months. I really want to work on that. Just stuff like that. Just really moving to the next stage in my life as far as professionally. I mean, that's about it. That's
enough right now.
Yeah.
The more things be added on.
Yeah. I'll just say that for now because I'm in 5 more minutes. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. I think right going and popping, but that's good. Keep you busy.
Yeah, real busy. Like always something to do, which is fun, and managing my own business affairs and stuff like that. And
that right there is the whole job in itself. Just the admin work of stuff, and you're like, oh, I have to do it.
It's the ugly work. Like you have to learn how to fall in love with all that stuff. Yeah. Because one of my teachers, he was like, yeah, it's called show business for a reason. He's like, yo, that business part is real. Like, it's show business, the receipts, the taxes, all that stuff.
And all of that. The project planning and the time frames and budgeting and fun stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff is just like, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Oh, it is worth it, especially when it's yours. It's so worth it just to have it as your baby. And it's like, look at it. Look at my kid. He can read. My kid can read. Look at it.
My kid can read. It's really, that's the most interesting part I think of it too. Is like it's yours, and like nobody can take your name away from you. And it's like your name is attached to it, and like it's like all the films I do, I edit all the films, I direct all of them, write all of them, do all that stuff, but I just don't act in them yet. I haven't made anything where I'm acting in yet. Yeah. But mainly I want to do that so I can give like Philly actors and people I know some really good stuff to act in. I'm like, that's saying my writing is really good. Oh yeah, Tasha, yeah.
That's my baby right here. That is my baby. I love you. Tasha Holmes, if you don't know her, people, Tasha Holmes, look her up. She's an actress here in Philadelphia. Beautiful. Yeah. And beautiful personality. Just
Tasha is the best.
I love her hugs. If you watch this,
Tasha gives good hugs. Tasha gives good hugs. She's sweet. She's one of the sweetest, she's one of the sweetest people I know in the scene. And that's why I feel like I'm fortunate. I have no complaints about people I work with. I've really been working with really good people. Like, and that's why I want to write, so I can give like people like stuff and they look at it and they read it and they're like, yeah, I really want to do this. Like, I like that feeling when I get something, you know, that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to. But I also have feelings, I look at stuff, I'm like, I really got to, like, and I'm a committed person. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And like, you make the best out of it sometimes. Yeah.
I learned it early on where it's like, look at everything first, get all the questions, because once you could, like for me, once I commit, I'm like,
yeah. Yeah. Like, damn, like
they're at the fine print. Darn it, how long I gotta be on? Okay.
Yeah.
Grin and bear it.
Yeah, it's like, man, but I've been fortunate to have like be able to provide like material that people like, even the plays. When I did the plays were like
Rod
amazing.
and I did a play together a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Long time, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Was it 4 or 5 years ago? Wow.
That's how I met.
Wait, see. This is let me see. New York. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. You're right. It's like 4 or 5 years ago.
That's how I met this fella right here.
Yeah. Like I know 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, but I was thinking I was doing my own play at the same time. Like I was taking that play to New York. And
yep, you were. You sure?
Yeah, I was taking the play to New York. So it was like, oh man, that was a tough time. And it was like, but I remember like doing my plays and stuff and having that like that reaction. It was weird, like to think, because you know, in your mind, you think like you wrote something like, man, this is really, really good, you know, but you don't know how people are gonna react. Like you're hoping that like it connects. And you, even if you have like a really good feeling that it will, it's still, you don't know.
You don't know, because this is really your perspective on how you see it, and then you have to look at how other people gonna perceive it.
Yeah, and then you picked it up, and and then you throw it out there, and you're just like, people are like, to watch people watch your stuff is weird, because they're committed, and like, man, like, cool, and you're just taking the journey, and just like, man, people really like this, and it's not like, oh, you did a good job. It's like
the festival in New York, and Tasha was in there, right? Too.
Tasha was in there.
I remember it. Yep, I remember.
Yeah, they were like her and another actor. They were like really. They really loved like her and TC. They loved all the actors. Her and TC. Yeah.
I haven't seen TC or heard from him in a while. Have you seen him?
I haven't seen him in a while. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Usually I see it. I think I see him like
on his birthday or something. I think he was on Facebook, or I wished him happy birthday, or something like that.
I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, I talked to him, but yeah, TC is like one of the best. Like he's cool. Like
he's just a cool cat right there.
Yeah, TC is a good dude. He's a really good dude. So just working with them, working with Malaya, working with who else? Man, I worked with so many people in this city. Working with Carlo, working with working with one of my old students, Blessing, and like Robinson. It's been a good journey. And I'm grateful. I'm like mad grateful working with you, working with a bunch of people. It's like, and I don't have any complaints about working with people. Like it's been really good. Like
that's when it feels good when you get into environments and you don't have any complaints. You're just really fun and safe and like comfortable to be in those environments. That's the best theater experiences.
Yeah, that experience is like directing is super hard, and they make it easy. Like they make it super easy. Like working with actors who come here. Yeah, directing is hard. I love it, but it's like,
oh, I love it. It's like it's almost as if if you remember that movie Beautiful Mind, or like how the max play, it's like stuff coming and all this. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. Oh, I love it. It's like I can see it's I can create the world by just looking at the stage and then make it come to life. And
so but yeah, like these Beautiful Mind equations, like
no, it's just it's like, oh, I can live in this world. I love it.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's like you see it. You see it a different way. You know what I mean? Like you do see it in a different way, especially like interpreting the word. yeah, you do see it in a certain type of way. And learning the language of directing and learning how to get the best out of your actors. And I remember somebody mentioned one time, he said, you know, Sherod was like, there's somebody, 2 actors did something, and it was just like trash. It was just bad. I was like, we're gonna do that again because I know y'all can do better.
Yeah.
Y'all can do better than that. They just looked at me like, they looked at me like,
I know, that was nice.
I was like, because I was like, raising your voice doesn't do anything, having a bad attitude. But when you put confidence in people's abilities,
yeah, people are people. You need to treat people with respect.
You gotta put confidence in people. You gotta show confidence in people's abilities without destroying their effort. So like, you know, like, no, y'all can do better. Let's go through it again. Like y'all can do way better than that. Like y'all know it. Like just don't go through the motions. Come on, like keeping that standard.
Yeah.
Keeping that standard. Yeah, like the last play I did was, man, like it was called Leaving Still Here. It was about mental health. So man, we did like, I think, like a five play run. We did a 5-show run, and like it was really good. Like it was so good that like people in the audience were crying, people on the stage was crying. It was weird. It was like, where was all this in rehearsal? like all this emotion. People were like emotional. I was like, man, this is like, and I was in the play. So TC had a monologue. I wrote a monologue for TC. Like the play all started from one monologue, and it was for TC. I said, okay, I got something for you, TC. And he did the monologue, and the spotlight was on TC. He was in one seat, didn't move. He just told the story. And everybody was just like,
engaged.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh my. We were all like, damn, this is like, and it's a sad monologue. So it was like, everybody in the audience was like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, yeah. And we were like, yeah, so it's a good experience. It's a good experience. It's a really good experience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right, let me go one more card. And then,
all right.
Well, let me shuffle because we might get the other ones. Did I put that on top? Yeah, I did. All right, here's yours. Here's mine. And your question to me is, I need blank in a relationship. What do I need in a relationship?
Lack of height. What's it called? Pedestal? No, stepping stool. Stool.
Just listen here. What do I need in a relationship?
Here you go, step right in that chair, hon. But listen.
I need acceptance.
Oh,
I'll say that.
Oh,
all right.
Sweet. That's sweet. What do you mean by acceptance, though? What do you mean by acceptance?
Accepting of people, accepting of people's choices, and not expectations of people, accepting people for who they are. You know who they are, you accept them for who they are. You don't try to change them. You don't try to assume that, and even if they change, you accept their changes. You know the person core values, and that doesn't change, but people change or want to be who they are. Some people just like, I just don't do things. Like, I don't drive. I detest driving. People be like, oh, you can drive. And I know how to. I don't like to do it. And I'm not.
Yeah, I love driving. So there you go.
I will, here's my keys and you can drive.
All right. If only if I was 5'10". We'll be on it, baby. We like, I got the keys, boo. I got the keys. Don't worry. Where's the booster seat?
Y'all gonna get beat up. But good. Y'all gonna get beat up. There's gonna be a whole gang of people. My question.
The lollipop kids, but like.
Oh, Neil. My question to you.
Okay.
I heard you. You have to dance for 5 minutes. I'm not. No, not 15. No, 15 seconds.
Okay.
We'll say seconds. So, dance.
I have to dance?
Yes, for 15 seconds.
I thought you was about to ask. I thought you was going to ask some type of question like who could you dance with for 15 seconds?
No, dance.
Okay. I don't do the dance I just saw when I was watching Knight Rider. where white people, they were like, David Hasselhoff was like recording the song, and they were like, white people dance. They were like,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, now 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There you go.
that be white people be in it too. They were like, I'm like, huh? Anyway, that's where that dance came from. The Carlton dance came
You
from.
don't laugh at people's cultural dances. Everybody's culture
God.
has different dances.
Oh.
And their culture has their own dance.
Yo, yo, that's where that Carlton dance came from. It came from a rock video. Yeah, it came from rock. It's a famous female actor, and she was doing it in the video. She was like this. The name right on top of my tongue. I think she's in Friends. She's an actor. Courtney Cox.
Yep.
Courtney Cox. She was doing in that video.
She be like, you see how she is.
Yeah, she was like that, but she's like, and then she's like, and then that's where Carlton got that dance from. That's it. Yeah.
Or he appropriated somebody's cultural dance.
Yep, he definitely did.
Started you black people. Yeah, appropriated Courtney Cox's culture.
Courtney Cox.
We gotta do better, black people. We gotta do better.
Gotta do better. That's funny. That's funny.
But that was a quick one. I want to do one more card.
Right.
Make sure we good. All right, your card. Now make sure I ain't putting nothing on top. Yeah. And then my card. All right. These are the old ones. So I'm gonna go first and ask you a question for you.
Okay.
Switching it up. What is your insecurity?
Yeah, I don't really have. That's like weird, like, because I don't have any. Do I have any insecurities? That's a tough question because, like, I work on myself.
Or a past insecurity, something that you may have been insecure about as a kid.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what's something I might have been insecure about? I think when I was younger, I might have been insecure about. Let's see, insecure. I think when it came to talking to girls, that's not necessarily true. Man, something I was insecure about. It's really, really hard because I've always been like a resilient person. So
if it's nothing, then it's nothing.
No, it has to be something because I know I think I've having moments of insecurity. I think, I've had moments of insecurity. I know I liked this girl when I was a kid named Tasha.
Mm-hmm.
When I was working for an art and craft store, and I thought she was just so cute and everything. And then like she was like, I think we were sitting around. I was on the cash register. She was like, "Oh, Sherrod's okay." I'm like, "Okay." And I went home and I looked in the mirror. Yeah. She's like, "Oh, he's okay." I'm like, I was like, just okay. I was like, man, I went in the mirror and I looked at myself and I was like, well, I like how I look. And I just broke down like every part of my face. I was like, oh, I'm good with me. And that's what that door. I was like, forget it. Then like, it was weird. Like, it was like a revelation. Like, I don't really care what people think. Like, I was like, I'm good with me. I looked at my face and I just started changing. Like, my self-image like really kicked in. Like, and I was just cool with everything. And then everybody just started looking at me like, what's going on? And then she was like, oh, Sherod looking cute today. I was like, oh, Sherod cute now.
It was you. Yeah, it's who you attracting and stuff. It maybe, built your confidence a little bit more. And confidence is always attractive.
Yeah, confidence is always attractive.
Confidence is not attractive. So
yeah. So I mean, I have moments of insecurities and stuff like that, but like, that's all I can think of.
All right, your question to me is, I anger myself by or when? I anger myself when Oh, when I get enraged for things.
Oh.
Yeah, because that can get really dangerous and bad. And I've gotten so much better with it. But I don't like to get enraged because it's just not a good thing.
Wow. What enrages you?
It takes a lot to enrage me. Like what it is what used to, well, I would say what used to, because I've noticed a change. I would have to say, being inconsiderate and disrespectful. I don't like and I don't like bullies. I don't like people who are
I don't like bullies either. I don't like bullies either.
And are really intentionally hurtful or mean. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's done to me. It's just someone's personality or actions. That's just the energy that they're presenting. And if I'm in that kind of situation in that area, I'm going to address it. And I learned how to address it much differently. However, when I get enraged, my body, that's like the Hulk. My body heats up. Like you touch my skin, you can feel that I'm hot. Like I'm soaking wet, sweating. Like it feels like I'm gonna have a aneurysm.
Wow.
So, but it takes a lot to get me there. And it used to be with people being disrespectful, but I was like, I don't think about people no more. But yeah, but mainly stupidity used to bother me a lot, but mainly people intentionally trying to hurt someone in front of me, whether it's physical or mental or being abusive. That's something that boils my insides. Yeah,
that's interesting. I'm the same way. You, especially with my friends, you talk about my friends. I'm like I will it's weird. Like I remember like one time I was in school, I was on a tour, a concert choir tour, and like one of my friends was freestyling, and he was just freestyling, but the guy was like trying to battle him. He started coming at him, and nobody knew I could really like rap, like rhyme, like I was a poet. So I was like, okay, let me get into this drawing, and I wrecked that dude. He was like, what? I was like, that's for messing with my boy. I said, don't ever do that again. Don't ever, because he was like, I'm like, I'm vicious. I'm vicious when it comes to, I have like a protective spirit. So like, it's like, y'all can't.
More of not even just protect, because it doesn't even have to be someone I know. It's just, this is not necessary. And if you want to be mean to someone, guess what I can do? Guess how I'm gonna make you feel exactly how they feel, but a lot worse.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe you won't do this to someone else again. Because you know how it feels. Because sometimes maybe people need to feel like how it feels so they can stop doing it. And I'm here to make you feel that way.
I'm like, okay, like I call myself an ender. I'm like, I'll finish it. Now nobody has anything to say. Now like, I was like, how do you like them apples?
I'm learning how to still be able to have that same kind of spirit, but do it in a much more productive way. Because my motto, what I live by is, are you educating or are you demeaning? And if anything that you're saying out of your mouth is not towards educating or uplifting someone or making the energy better, then what are you doing? What's the purpose of it? So.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do, because it's policing, like not say policing yourself, but it's more like understanding. It's meek. So like meekness is not. People think meekness means that you're weak and you're passive. That's not what it really means. It really means having the ability to take out your sword, but choosing not to. Like choosing peace, even though you can create war. Even though you can end wars, you choose the path of peace. And that to me is like way more agreeable, because like I have the power to do a thing and I know it. So it gives me
and that's just like, I know I could really destroy your life right now, but what is good about that? There's nothing good coming from that. So who am I? What type of person am I that's choosing to go the other way? That's not my goal in life. My goal is not to hurt people. So make sure that I'm either uplifting or educating. Even if it's like, you beautiful person who may be broken right now. I pray that your journey be great and strong, and you have strength. The strength I'm gonna choke you with.
That's funny.
Hold it, channel it a different way. It works, but it's sometimes you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you gotta catch yourself. Like, I call it the breath. I take a breath. I'm like, and then like I have to take a breath, like, because I have to think about what's going on for a second before I respond. Like, you know, like because my response is like vicious. I'm not gonna do like that. Because what's the point of destroying somebody? It's not cool.
Yeah,
so,
I don't feel good about it at the end.
Yeah, you don't feel good. Yeah, this got me in a lot of trouble. I had to really fall back and be like, you know, is it worth it? You know what I mean? Like, it's not worth it at the end of the day. And you can use that same tongue to build.
To build.
You know
to say, if I can do this, I can do this with it.
Yeah,
and still get my point across. It's just more than one way to skin a cat. And if I'm choosing this way, then this is the type of person I'm choosing to be. And that's not the type of person I want to be.
Exactly.
But boy, that's like, you stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, your mother was a great woman. That's all I can say good about you, you dumb. I like your sneakers. You keep wearing those sneakers. Stupid.
That's funny. Your mother was a great woman.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'll be feeling it too. But it's like a part of like maturing, the ability to do a thing. I remember I told this kid, I was in like one of these corner stores. I was actually like the gas station down the street from me. And this little kid, 8-year-old kid, came in with a black eye with his dad. Everybody was like, oh, you know, he's in the fight. And it was like, and they were asking like, did he fight? Whatever. And I was like, kid, learn how to fight really well so you won't have to ever fight a day in your life.
Yeah.
I said, you won't get that now, but learn how to fight really well. Be the best fighter you can possibly be so you never have to fight a day in your life. Yeah. And like having the ability to do a thing controls you, you know, you have that security.
Yeah, you have this spirit to be like, oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Let me try something else. Let me try something else.
Yeah, because you secure in that. You don't have to fight. I mean, what's the point? Like, I can end this and then what? This person is hurt. I'm gonna. You can see the game out a little bit more.
Of doing these things, and for me, I'm a type of person who likes a challenge. If it's easy, I don't want to do stuff that's easy. I don't want to do things that's hard either. I just like to do new things. If it's something that's already been done before, let's do something different.
Yeah,
another way of doing it. Let me just see other ways of being able to practice this way. So yeah, it's like, okay, I don't have to say it this way, though I do want to say it, make them go, but I can do this. And then it's like, oh, now I'm opening up my brain to do other things. And your brain becomes, you know, like if you experience a different culture, then your mind and your experiences open up. The same way as if you start responding differently, it opens your brain up to a whole nother way of walking and talking and moving. So,
yeah, it definitely does.
Some people need like, ooh.
I've always learned that life does that for them, and it does it way better than I can. That's that's a tough pill to swallow too. Like, I stopped looking for revenge a very long time ago because I was like, sometimes when somebody does something to me and say something to me, you know, I say nothing. I just walk away sometimes, and then like I hear something happen to that person. I was like, that's worse than revenge. Like sometimes it's like, damn, I wish that didn't happen to that person. Yeah. But like it wasn't, and it had nothing to do with me. No, it was the path this person was on.
Yep.
Know what I mean? It was it's like the path the person was on and people think karma is like something like somebody does something bad to you, something bad's gonna happen to them. That's not necessarily what it is. It's really that person coming back on that person.
It's lessons. That's what karma is. And the other thing is when you choose to engage, like, all right, the idea of forgiveness. And like, you have to forgive me. I didn't do anything wrong. You did whatever you did wrong. So you need to forgive yourself. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that.
Exactly.
Like I was chilling over here when you chose to do that. So ain't none of my business then, ain't none of my business now. Exactly. And as people they tend to make other people's actions their business and be like, well, I'm gonna punish you for doing this. That ain't none of your business.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. You ain't got nothing to do with it. So stay out of it.
Yeah. You can't go around like I'm punishing. It's like
for you.
It's like I have to learn how to walk away from situations like that, like, and be patient and see the long run. Because you're out, it's not in your control. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, when somebody does something wrong to you, feel wrong, the first thing you want to do is snap back. It was like, you snap back, that's not going to be good for you. You walk away, that's going to be them taking care of them. Yeah. And everybody learns that lesson. It's a harsh lesson.
And hopefully people do learn it. So they can just know it's not even about you.
Yeah, it's not even about you. That's a really, it's not even about you. Like that's
Go
stuff is
through
not
things. People who are envious because of their situations, and they may did something that they think was going to hurt you or whatever. But that was always about them.
It was about them. Yeah, it's about them. You know, you have to play that long game and see outside of yourself and stay your course.
This type of person, whereas I'm the type of person where it's like I must have been in one of my past lives like a judge or whatever, a warrior. Where it was like, oh, an executioner. Because if you deserve it, you deserve it. I'm like, slice the neck off. It's okay. Yeah. Nothing personal though. I'm not angry with you. Like I can discern, I can be unbiased and still say, well, you deserve that ass whooping. Yeah.
You had it coming. Like you had it coming.
Like, do you really needed this? So you probably won't do this stuff again. You good? We good. Let's move on.
Yeah. I had to learn so you had it coming. But it takes a lot to be like, okay, you know, do you want to be that person? Because it's a harder walk. Because I've been that person, like, okay, I'm gonna finish this all off, and then like, but you wind up hurting this person so much, like more than you probably thought you could hurt that person. You know, I mean, and it's like a vicious hurt. Like some people don't ever get over stuff, and like you know, and you can't take back those words. You can't take back. And it's like, oh man, it's a tough pill to swallow. It's like, okay, let's take it from another. Where is this coming from? Why is this happening? You know, why is this happening?
And it's okay to say, you know what, you're in an unhealthy space. I can't be in this space with you. Love you. Talk to you later. And as long as you're still in this unhealthy space, we can't have a relationship with each other. But hey, if you change and become a better person, or can respect my boundaries, or can chill in my house or whatever, then we can be good. But right now, I have to do that. Someone told me I had to be a friend with someone because I decided not to be friends with someone. For whatever reasons. And then someone was like, they still want to be friends again. And I was like, no, I don't think that's, I don't think that's something that, what type of person I would want as a friend. But you're cool, and I wish you nothing but greatness in your life and everything. Then everybody was on me like, oh, you should be that person's friend. And I was like, why? That's not fair. I was like, well, it's not. So I'm supposed to be treated a certain way. Allow it. And because someone says they're sorry, or they didn't mean to, not even didn't mean to, they're sorry, I'm supposed to be like, okay, now we can go back to no, you sorry, fine. But maybe I don't want that energy in my life again, because I know that you're capable of doing those things. And I don't want to be around people who are capable of doing certain things like that. Now, maybe you'll change, and maybe we will, or maybe we won't, even if you change. How I feel about it shouldn't determine how you're going to be as a person.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to tell somebody that before. I was like, yo, just because you apologize doesn't, and even if I forgive you, doesn't mean I want to be around you. Because sometimes you don't want to find out if somebody changed. Sometimes you just want to like, okay, if they change, you'll find out that gradually, maybe through time. But at that particular point, the relationship is so like, I'm like, I don't really want to be a part of that right now, because it's a bad space. It's a bad space, and you need some time.
Core values, when you do certain things, for me, people can mess up, people make mistakes, but some core things that people do, you be like, that's in you. There's something in you that's capable of doing certain things. Some people are not capable of doing certain things. I'm not capable of doing certain things because that's just not my core values. Yes, I can, because it's possible anybody could do it, but me, no, I don't do those certain things. If somebody does something that it shows their core value, and it's like, I don't think we ever could be good. I don't even care if you change. And I hope you do. But something about you says this is something that you are constantly working on. If I'm around somebody who's a recovering thief, I'm not going to keep leaving my purse around them, even though they changed. They still inside, something in them loves to steal. But maybe they say, no, I'm going to suppress that part of me. But I'm not going to say, oh, why you still at my pocketbook? Because you're a thief.
Yeah. And then sometimes I think about Malcolm X, because Malcolm X, he's like the example of like repentance. You know what I mean? Like he changed completely. You know what I mean? He was, one minute he was drug dealer, pimp, all this other kind of stuff. And then he had an entity that helped him get his life around. And he became a pillar. But not only that, one thing I like about his story is that everybody around him good or bad, knew he changed. Like he went to schools and he spoke. I saw interviews when he was speaking, and it was like, this dude, you would never think this dude was doing any of that stuff. And like, y'all just got this dude, y'all told him to tell people he was part, because he had that type of thing. And you could tell when somebody has truly repented. You could tell when somebody has truly changed.
You don't know if he has changed. You may know if his like, all right, like how they say Martin Luther King used to sleep around on his wife. That's not none of our business, but that don't take away from what he did. Malcolm X probably did some horrible things to some horrible people, and he could say, "Oh, I changed like this," and they could be like, "I don't care."
Yep.
Like, oh, and I appreciate everything you're doing for Black people. I appreciate what you're doing, but I don't want to mess with you. I'm never going to put a picture of you in my house. I'm never going to do these things because I know what you did to me, and I'm over it. But that's who I see you as. And more power to you for whatever good things you are doing. I'm glad you're doing great. But I still say that man raped me, or that man did this stuff. That's not going to change because you changed who you are. Those things happened. You can never stop that the occurrence did happen. That's what somebody knows about you, and maybe that's something you need to live with the rest of your life, or whatever those things are.
Yep. Because it's like, because even within that story, he talks about a young lady he was with, and she wound up being a prostitute, and he felt like he got her on that path in some type of way. And so
it's like, how she feels about him, and she can probably like all these great things people are saying, but you don't know what happened in that room between us. You don't know what the stuff that he said to me. And even after he changed, I'm not saying this because I don't know what, I really love Malcolm X, but you don't know how he was with his wife. He just still had a nasty mouth with some people, and sometimes, or had nasty ways. People kind of like, oh, he wasn't that great. But then, like even with the movie Serena Williams' father,
they left out a whole lot of stuff. They have a ton of stuff.
Like even now, something like he has a 20-year-old wife who stole his money and stuff. So you can kind of say, oh, I know what type of man he is if that's what he's going through now. But it does not discount that he was a great father. He stood up for his daughters. He put them through. So people have layers, but you can't be like,
people are very complex.
You can't say, oh, the daughters or the other people can't look at him that way because he's such a great person. Like, no, he ain't shit too.
That's the thing about human beings. It's like, we try our best, I think, sometimes to be the least amount of shit we can possibly be. And that's a very hard, like we all have our things. I think when you have people in your life, and you allow people in your life that can put you in check, that reduces itself a lot because you have people who you're accountable for. I think accountability is a big thing when you have good friends. Like I have really good friends that I'm accountable to, and they're like, I had to tell them that story. And you're like, oh man, like you're gonna hear it, that's what community is for.
Yes.
To hold you. You're accountable.
Good for them. You don't want to make your community look bad. You want to I teach my children, when you walk out the streets, you're a reflection of me and my household, just like I'm a reflection of Pop and you're a reflection of your family. So when you do something wrong, that's why the family knows, because somebody in here needs to talk to you, because it's not just about you. You're a reflection of all of us. The reason why you can walk these streets safely is because your cousins and your uncles made it that way, because they're made sure themselves to be a good reflection of our family. So you got to continue that on for your kids and your kids' kids, and that's how you keep our family strong and safe.
Exactly. I mean, but it's I think it's just about accountability and knowing that people are human. Remember that you're human too, and you're managing your stuff too. And you're trying to, I think we're kind of hard on ourselves sometimes. We're all trying to figure it out. Like, human existence is really in its infancy. Like this animals and plants and stuff that's been here way longer than us, and we're just trying to figure out existence. And we have a brain that's kind of new to this existing game. Like there's never been a brain on Earth that can make the stuff that we're doing now.
Well, we're not going to talk about that because it has been. This brain we use right now is so insignificant and it's so stupid. It is nothing compared to how we were before. But that's something I understand what you're saying. Like, we should be able to enjoy. This is just an experience. We should be able to have fun with it and be like, I felt like doing it. It was wrong. And I was wrong. My bad. Because we all want to do stuff that we knew was wrong, but we did it anyway.
We did it anyway.
And we wanted to do it. And if we went back now, we still be like, I still would have done it. My fault. It was an experience. Should I be shunned for the rest of my life for it? No. But if you want to, that's fine too. But I'm not gonna feel ashamed of who I am, or not be honest about who I am as a person, or say, if I did that, then I'm a terrible person. No, I did. I wanted to do it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's I don't know, it's like it's two parts to that. So it's like if you do something that's wrong, that's one thing. But if you, like you said before, it's the reflection of who you are as a person. It's like your core is a whole different thing. And that's like something you carry all the time. I'm like, it's not just a mistake. This is
a liar. Like you a whole liar.
You a liar. You a liar.
You've been doing this. You're a whole professional.
So you're a whole professional in this show.
You don't feel nothing wrong with robbing somebody of their will. You don't feel wrong with robbing somebody of their own opportunity to make a choice. Oh, you don't really care about people. That's what it tells me when people are lying. Like I always say, a liar is someone who's a coward, because they're about what someone thinks about them, or with how they see them, or they're a thief. They want to steal a person's opportunity to choose.
Yeah.
Either way, you're a punk because you're not even doing it straight up front.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't like that. Like, you take somebody's opportunity, the ability to make a choice for themselves. I'm like, that's why I'm like manipulative guys, like guys who go around bragging about how much women they've been with. I was like, what did you tell these women, and what did you promise them? And a lot of times guys be promising a lot of women. I'm like, yo, this is not a real experience. You kind of like took away their ability to make a choice.
Now, hold on. There's a difference between a con artist. Now, I love con artists. That's a profession. And a liar is a liar.
Not a con artist.
Now, con artists, I'm not, anybody who's a con artist out there, I'm not saying anything about your profession. I love their profession. It's an upstandable profession, and you keep doing it well. But liars, that's the people we're talking about. They're still.
What's that? Is that a con artist? You like
con artists? Oh, that's a wonderful profession.
What is con artist a wonderful profession?
Has been as old as prostitution.
Yeah, it is.
Conning. Y'all keep conning out there. Go ahead.
But no, it's like you take away ability for a woman to make a choice, an honest choice, and that's the thing I don't like. I'm like, yo, you're not being honest about this person. It's a difference when you found this person attractive, she found you attractive. It's like, hey, let's get together. As opposed to you saying, I'm going to do all these wonderful things. And then you kind of, you took away their choice. You weren't honest about your intentions. All you wanted was this one thing. You wanted one thing for. I'm like, yo, this is. It's manipulative. I'm like,
and also, you got to realize some people want to be used, and some people want to be to be used by others, and some people want to be used or something.
Where's that from?
The song. No, it's not from You Can Use Me.
Some people want to use. Oh yeah, Sweet Dreams.
Sweet
dreams are made. Some.
And it's true. People who it may look like somebody is a victim, but they actually I'm okay with being used. Because I want to be here, and this works out for me. It's a nice using level. I use him, they use me, or they give me something, and I'm just sitting here being used, and I'm okay.
Yeah, like some people do want to be used, and like they get it.
Companionship. They're like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, nah. I'm like, like it's weird. Like, yeah, but it's like it's just dishonorable. It's a dishonor that I know this one dude. He used to do it a lot of. He used to find the insecurities and pinpoint those insecurities, and like that's vicious, and
that's weak. That's a weak person, because a real person or man or something be like, hey, I can get whatever I want to get, just off of me. Hey, you want
exactly. I might not be 5'4", but I do what I do.
But you ain't 5'4". You're not 5'4", so.
I mean, shout out to the tall dudes.
They have these procedures now to make people taller, so I guess they having to make people shorter too.
What they do? Really?
Yeah, it's weird. Oh my gosh, they doing so many weird things. They gotta go just like they keep adding inches, and you gotta put. And wait, well, come on, you're short. I'm here.
I'm tired of like the why. Yeah, I mean, I talk from a place of, I know I'm saying this from a place of like general, I guess, lack of a better word, privilege. But I don't like the idea of like how people try to improve, like this need to constantly improve one's self-image. It's kind of destructive at
No,
this.
you know what? And they keep saying is if you it's not, it's so, I keep forgetting the word, but it's totally not that. It's like they say if you talk to people about it, is you body shaming them if they are, it's come like they like self-empowering themselves by changing their body. No, you're not. You don't like yourself.
Yeah, because
that's not
like
empowering.
Yeah.
When you say, hey, I don't like myself, I'm gonna empower myself and change myself.
Yeah. It's like the Brazilian butt lift. Yeah, like the Brazilian butt lift is really dangerous at this point. I'm like, yo,
anytime you cut into your body is very dangerous. And if it's not for an emergency, what are you doing it for?
Yeah, it's kind of scary because everybody knows, and this is the thing, sometimes I think we as society have a disingenuousness about us. We all know people get these butt procedures because society says if this person looks like this, they have a better advantage or a better whatever. It's not because like I just want to feel good. You want acceptance.
It's just a society, because at that one time, us having butts wasn't acceptable until a certain type of people said it was. And now everybody's doing it. As soon as these certain type of people get all that stuff taken out of them, which probably will happen soon, then we type of people may not be able to get jobs again because our butts may be too big, or our hips may be too big, or our lips may be too big.
And that's the thing about like popularizing certain cultural and ethnic characteristics. Like when now like big lips were like a thing at one point, like full lips.
Yeah,
that's why Angelina Jolie was so
and
popular.
Never good for us.
Yeah, exactly. But it's always good on other people. Like it's always good on other cultures.
And then once they decide not to slum it anymore and decide to go back to their own people, and then they demonize it back again. Yeah,
it's like I'm probably gonna call it the hot and trot syndrome. Like, there's like, you remember her? They would put her on display. They had her in England, all that kind of stuff on display for sexuality. Like a zoo. Yeah, and like a zoo. And then like when they were done with her, they were done with her. They were literally done with her.
They do us like that every time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, look at this exotic, blah blah blah. Okay, that's good. Bye. And then like now the standard is still white.
Yeah, it's still that standard.
Yeah.
But even when it's copying what we had, that's the standard. But then when it's like, okay, then we wash it away, now it's back to this. Yeah. But it's not safe. First of all, now people who had like somebody who had cancer and lost their breast, go get them.
That's different.
Get them boobies. If you got one of your ass cheeks blown off in the war, get you an ass cheek. Get
the ass.
That's what reconstructive surgery is.
Yep. That's exactly. That's what that surgery is for.
And the thing is, when you have a child, and I'll say mainly for women but men are getting into it too with the surgeries and stuff. And you have children, and your child is not the same complexion as you anymore because you lighten your skin. Doesn't have the same nose as you. Don't have the same lips as you. Don't have the same eyes as you. Body is not going to turn out like yours unless you keep getting liposuction or whatever, or doing something. And you telling your child she's beautiful. How is she going to believe that?
You changing everything about you.
How is she? First of all, not just how she going to believe that, you're a liar from day one. Every time you call her beautiful, you're lying to her. And the sting of her looking at your face, it looks different because you think she's ugly. Because that's every time she look at your face, you think she's ugly. Because you weren't pretty enough. You had to change. All she's waiting for is to change how she looks so she can be better. So how are you empowering anything when you're telling your own children that they're not good enough? Like even the whole thing with Black women be like, oh, that Black man with a white woman. Well, dang, your child ain't never see your hair.
Yep.
Your child ain't never. Your child don't see you talking about how Black and ugly people are, and you wonder why he went with a white woman.
Yeah,
you don't like Black people, so why would he like Black people?
That's a good point. Like people talk about like this kind of like culture, like, oh, Black people are beautiful. I was like, yeah, but we never treat each other like we're beautiful, and we're always changing ourselves to look like something that we're not, and then saying, okay, this person dates somebody outside their race. I was like, think about it like
Why
this.
wouldn't they?
Did you train that person to do that? Were you training them to do that? Were you making them subconsciously or consciously?
How many little boys get to touch their moms here or see their mothers here?
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, their mothers here. How many little boys get to see their mothers without eyelashes on or makeup on nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
So now you're saying, oh, if you're dark skinned, that's ugly. Nappy hair is ugly. And a woman that don't have makeup on her face is ugly. So I need to get something that is the opposite of that. They got to be lighter. Their hair got to be straight. They got to look like this. And close to that is either passing people or white. And then you can't get mad at that because you told them all their life. And then imagine a little boy saying, I came from her and I'm ugly too because I'm Black and she thinks Black is ugly, so I'm ugly too. So any other race can make me feel any kind of way. Any other race and another woman can make me feel any kind of way because I'm less.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of times we don't realize what we're telling our children and what we're feeding them. And then like you're surprised at the result of it. Like, well, you taught them that. That's what you were teaching them. How can you be
that you don't like yourself? So why would they pick someone that looks like you? Because
usually
boys pick someone that looks like their mothers or something similar to their mother. Some kind of either attitude, personality, and or towards the women in their family, because that's what you see all the time. So you that's your attraction. That's what you're used to.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like I think sometimes people don't realize like what you're teaching children when you make certain jokes, when you look at certain people's hair, when you talk, and you say it so casually, like you're like, oh, like that hair is like nappy, or this hair is like, and people
they was Black and ugly. Kids, they Black and ugly. I see Black people say that.
Yeah, people still say that. People still say that.
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, man,
Black and ugly self. So
yeah.
Like, well, what do you say when you say that to a dark skinned person's around, or just not even dark skinned, Black person, period, because they can be light. And still like, oh, I'm Black and ugly.
Yep, exactly. And I think people don't realize, like, yo, we're sending out a message, and like you're teaching your child exactly what you want them to be. Now, people don't realize that you're teaching your child exactly what you want. It's rare when you have a child that says, you know what, I'm going to do something beyond my. You teaching that child in the long run to be exactly who you want them to be. Yep. And then you wonder why they're like. I was like, well, what do you tell them? What were you telling them?
Yeah, you actually told them one way, and then you're gonna be mad at them for going the way you told them.
Exactly. That's what you told them to be. That's what you told them to be.
Accountability, responsibility for your actions. People don't want to do that.
Yeah, accountability is tough. That's responsibility, and that real responsibility, and you recognizing that you have some level of power within the situation. Nobody wants that. People talk about power all the time. People don't really want it. It's a responsibility.
I had to do this, and they made me do this. You chose to do it. You could have walked away. You didn't have to be there.
Yeah.
You know how those people act. Why was you even in that situation?
Yeah, exactly. But people pass it down too. So people pass down that from generation to generation, and it's like realize that and then like I said, now we have so much more access to different people of different ethnicities. You see that straight hair, you're going to be attracted to it. And not only attracted because it's pretty or beautiful, it's because it's not you.
It's not you.
It's not you. You're
that's
literally attracted.
It's not you. Anything that's not you, because everything about you is ugly and bad.
Yeah.
It's good. And I need to get so closer to that because, like you said, survival.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Survival.
Why would I get into something that's just as horrible and bad and ugly as me? Because my children are never going to survive in life because they're going to be ugly and bad and just whatever. So it ends up being all that.
That's a harsh lesson to teach a child to survive, and it's like, ugh. And what does that mean? To blend into general society as much as you possibly can, even if you're denying yourself. So now you're just telling your child not only to survive, but like to erase you.
It's nothing good about you. You got to be like somebody else.
That's a harsh lesson. Like man, like Joy Luck Club. I remember watching that movie and reading some excerpts of that book, and that's what that whole thing is about. Mm-hmm. It's really about like this group of women who take their women to America. Be American. That's all they teach these kids. It's better than that. It's like, you know.
So what is wrong with my culture? It's like you tell me everything is wrong with mine, and this is good, and this is just good. Like
it's like they resent the culture they had to be a part of, but then they tell the kids they have to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, where does a kid learn how to be themselves?
Yeah, you know, or have pride in themselves, and when you don't know yourself, you can be anything and be turned any kind of way in this world. Yep,
and it happens so often. I don't think people realize because I see all the time, like, not to have the inner stability. It's like anything shakes you, you're easily scared.
You're broken.
You're easily broken. You easily side on the side
and you're prey. You're prey.
Yeah.
You show. I mean, man, if I was one of those people show their hands so often. I'm so good at cards, and people will show their hands as soon as they walk through the room. I'd be like, oh, they're insecure about this thing. I could. Oh no, I don't want to. But I could, because I know how I can get you. You just showed it to me. Because you know who you are.
Exactly.
It's so like I can push your buttons because you already showed me what your insecurities are, what you don't like, and or what your likes are, so I can manipulate you in that way.
Yeah, people do that. So, and that, in dating, that's so interesting because I'm really selective of who I choose to date, and because people show their hands so much, they show their insecurities, like they kind of put it on the platter. I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that.
Do that.
I don't want to be a part of that, because what guys sometimes tend to do, some guys, not all guys, but some guys tend to use that and manipulate that situation through that insecurity.
It can be hard, especially even if you're not somebody who's manipulative. Sometimes, and you can be a type of person where it's like, hey, I want to get my way in this time. I know how I can get my way. And it may not seem like it's a big, bad thing that you're doing, but you still are doing manipulative things.
Yeah.
This one thing about that person.
Yep. I see men do, I see women do. I'm like, yo, this is kind of mean. Like, you're not being with this person.
Women do it so often with the crying and all that other dumb stuff. Yeah.
I dated somebody who I would have so it was always made to seem like I was the person who needed to change. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to be more adjusting. Maybe I need more patience with my language, which is all good things. But then anytime I would have an issue, they would cry and cry. I'm like,
oh, but you didn't even care about my feelings.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm trying to be a best girlfriend I can possibly.
What did I do wrong? I just can't do anything right for you.
Like that. I'm like, I didn't say you were bad, and it became all about making sure they're not crying anymore. And then one day I was like, forget this. I was like, when you stop crying, call me.
That's how you do. Are you crying? You crying again?
Yeah.
When you stop crying, when you get your emotions together, we'll talk. But if you can't get your emotions together, you want to act like a little girl. See, that's when the rage is about to hit, because that's when I talk to people like that.
I was like, you get yourself together, you can call me, but I can't do it. Oh, and that's manipulative. That, because you're using somebody's compassion against them.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm like, why is things getting worse? And every time I would mention something, it's like, oh, we just going in circles. I mean, no, we're not going in circles. You get into that's abuse as well. And then you get into the point where I'm not gonna bring anything up because I don't want to make anything happen wrong. Yep. I'm gonna hold no, because everything's fine. And if I do something, it ain't that bad. I don't have to bring this one up because then it's gonna make this bad. So I'm okay. That's abusive. Yeah, it's really abusive. It's nasty. It's like, because if now you try to make that person seem like it's always about them. I was like, it ain't all about me. I was like, I dated you for a long time. It ain't all about me. But it's a way to kind of like manipulate the situation, get what you want. I'm like, nah, that's not cool.
Because that's what people do in relationships. Instead of going in a relationship whole, they go in and say, this is what I want out of someone. And they have this idea of what somebody wants, and they have to be that person because that makes them whole now. You got to go in a relationship whole and be whole with the person that's whole. because I don't need you to change who you are, because evidently I'm attracted to the person that I was attracted to, you. So you come in whole, I come in whole, you, and we leave each other whole.
Yep. And that's the thing. Like, people don't come in whole, they come in parts. And then like you said, like I used to say, like, you know, people want you like the 80-20 rule, like this person has to be 80% of the stuff you want. I was like, yeah, but nobody can be 80% of what anybody wants 100% of the time. That's impossible. Yeah, that's impossible.
And maybe this 20% is all you needed that one day.
Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody could be that all the time. I was like,
and what do you need from people that much? You should not need someone that much to keep continuing on in your life. Yeah, and that right there is holding people hostage. Just codependency. Yeah. You should be able to say, hey, you know what? These are the things I like in a relationship. If you bring that towards me in a relationship, cool. If you don't, then we're here. But if someone else comes in and they do the things that I like, then maybe I like that one more. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Either people say, like, I want to do these things, or I don't. But you don't force people to say, if you don't do it, I'm gonna leave. If you don't do it, I'm gonna be mad. If you don't do this, I'm gonna
it's about like finding somebody you can connect with, and you know you can build a life with, come what may. So like that's what it's really about. Like, nobody's gonna be 100% of anything, but you find somebody you can build a life with, come what may. And people just don't. People look for these people who just like, I don't know, like they fill in these gaps that nobody can fill. I'm like, that's not.
That's what you fill in for yourself. And once you have those things full, then go reach somebody who y'all can just share with. You can't, because the person is going to always disappoint you, because they'll never know how much you need that. Because you're the only person that knows it. You tell somebody, you can never relay exactly what you need verbally. Unless someone gets inside your body and feels it for themselves and sees it for themselves, they're going to fail. And all you're doing is setting people up for failure. And that's not fair. Because that leaves another person who cares about you in a state of anxiety, because they don't want to hurt you. So they're like, all right, I'm not, maybe this may happen if I do this. Nobody should ever have to walk on eggshells. Nobody should ever just be in that state of anxiety just to be around other people.
Exactly. That's not real love either. It's like, you're just kind of keeping the thing going. It's like, that's just torture. That's torture. And I mean, like, I know people going through that right now. I'm just like, how could you live like that?
In relationships, it's very rare I hear relationships where it's like, that's my buddy. Like, they get on my nerves. That's my buddy. That's my buddy. I'm so happy to go home, because I'm about to go home. We about to go have some fun. We about to enjoy each other. It's always like,
it's like,
I love her though, and we're gonna take these pictures. And it's never, it's like, that's not relationships. That's not how, but I think people have been conditioned to think that's what it is. You're not supposed to be happy. Just get with somebody to make you happy sometimes. And if it's just peaceful sometimes. And that's it. No, that's nobody. Who wants that?
Yeah.
I want to be by myself.
Yeah. That's why I did the short worth 1,000 likes, the journal on YouTube, because I was like, I want people to just like, you're seeing the smile on their Facebook, but you don't know all the stuff that happened before. They're just smiling for you and you're liking the picture, but you don't know. Like, you don't know, like, it's disturbed. I've seen it happen so many times where people are like posting pictures and then their life is miserable with this person. Like, how is that possible?
Oh, they don't even like their wife. Oh, they don't even like that.
Yeah, they don't even like these people. I'm like, yo.
They be all like this. We on vacation with my buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I've seen that.
They ain't even together. They ain't even together.
Yeah, I've seen like people just got finished like having a physical fight and then taking a picture and smiling.
And they like booed up.
Yeah, booed up. I'm like, oh,
the relationship goals.
Yeah, relationship goals. I'm like, really? That's why I was like, yo, if I'm in a relationship, I want to post nothing about my relationship. So like, look, y'all post the marriage and the anniversaries. I don't need y'all to see anything about like. Yeah, I'm like, I don't need y'all to know I'm married. That's nice. Thank you. Like, good. Have other people like. I think I'd rather have other people post us than me having to.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, that's like.
I remember in like 2 of my relationships. This is like early on social media. This was annoying, but you have to do this sometimes. They would be upset that I wasn't like showing our relationship online. Mm-hmm. So I will, every once in a while I had to put a voice, oh, he's the greatest man in the world. He made me breakfast. And I'm like,
oh God. Yeah.
Look, boast about you. Woo, relationship.
Like, oh nah, I don't want nobody posting up. Like, I don't know. I think if I'm going to definitely post like this is the love of my life. I think I'll post that once, but I don't want to post every single thing we do. I don't want to post like, oh, like, yeah. I don't know. Like, I
post stuff like that anyway. Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. Like, I want to share the fact that I love my wife, but I don't want to feel like I'm putting it on display.
Yeah.
I don't feel like
people
it's a
who know it, and people who don't need to. That's it.
Yeah. It's like if you really care about somebody, people are gonna know. Like when I was in love with somebody some years ago, and I would just, oh, so and so said blah blah blah. You know, that's what I was doing. What so and so said. Like, it's not that I'm putting it on display. It's just that this person has so much of my like heart,
time and everything, and also so they're part of your life. So of course you want to talk about them.
Yeah, and I was proud to be with them. So I was like, I was proud to be with them. So I was like, oh, you know, so said, you know, like you repeat, you're appreciating their opinions, and you just want to like, oh, you know, so said that too. You know, that's the fun to me. It's like that's the fun part of relationships, like to know that you have that kind of camaraderie with somebody. Like that, like, yo, like I really think this person is a good counselor. Like they're good counsel, they're a good friend. You know, I can be intimate with that person and it just me and that person. Like we going out and they can look like whatever, like in the sense of like we going out to dinner, they dress down, blah blah blah, and I have eyes for them. I don't really care about other people. You can look at them all the time, like
that's me right there. That's me. That's me right there. That's my baby.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't care, y'all look, go ahead, look, that's nice. I'm with her, like I'm like, because I'm so, it's just me and that person is the rest of the world. So like that's fun to me. That's the fun part of being in love and loving, when it's just you and that person. You know what I mean? It's just you and them. You're just like, hey, life, what's up? Like, yeah, it's fun. That's it's enjoyable. You know what I mean?
It's that companionship, that honest companionship is nice. It's really
the honest companionship.
Because it goes beyond just the physical. It goes beyond. It's a real intimacy. It's a real, like you said, companionship. It's like, hey, this is my buddy. Like you run to the store, I'm gonna run to the store with you. Or like, you know, like, all right, let's go wash the car. Let's go change. Let's go run do this. Like, I want this person to run and go with me these places because we're gonna laugh, joke, and
I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, it was fun being with somebody. I was with her, and I was like, I like it was like, well, all those pictures that people were like, I'm going this person this way, this place, that place, that place. I felt like that on the couch with that person. Like that's how I feel. Like I felt like that on the couch. You can sit on the couch. I feel like when all those different places right there, which made me want to go all those different places with her. So it's like that type of feeling. Like I don't need the trips. I want the trips, but I don't need them. Like to feel like that, like I'm going on trips. Anywhere. I don't need the trips. You can go anywhere. I can feel like that person felt on that cruise.
Well, you like, I don't even care if we go. I just want us to be each other. What we gonna do? We gonna chill in the house all day, or we gonna sit with this guy? Nothing.
Exactly.
We'll sit here and do nothing all day, and it's like this is the best day ever.
Yeah, it's like the best. It's like it's like the best day ever. Just like chilling, and it's just you and that person. And it's like that's a really beautiful intimacy.
That's that peacefulness. All right, so listen, we're gonna wrap this up. I want you to let people know where they can find you on social media. They can find what you're doing next. Anything you want to add in there?
All right. So you can find me on social media, Sherod Lee-Smallman on Facebook. On Instagram, you can find me at Sherod LS Photos. That's where I have all my photography and my memes and stuff like that. So those are the two places. I'm not on TikTok yet, but those are the two places, main places you can find me. Oh, YouTube. YouTube, you can find me at IDNI Productions. IDNI Productions. Find me there. You can see all my shorts and share and like those shorts.
Subscribe and like and share.
Yeah, subscribe.
We need to support each other in these channels and get the viewerships up so we can get some funding and we can get all the other great things that other people are getting. Like, subscribe. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. Subscribe to this thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, subscribe.
Like it and share it. Come back. All that stuff. But Many thanks, my friend. My neighbor about to yell out, yeah. Oh, sorry.
You're
Yeah, I had fun. It was great.
I had fun too. I had fun. I enjoyed myself. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. You know, all that good stuff.
All right, so this is the end of the podcast. Peace out, y'all.
All right.
Buddy.
I'll see you later.
This podcast is for you. Yes, a podcast is for you, for me, us.